This Steam Deck sat unused for a year, but with just 5 upgrades, it was completely transformed, and now I can't put it down. The main reason I felt uninterested in using my Steam Deck is the memory. 64GB sounds okay, but I can maybe fit a handful of games on it before I get the storage full screen, so I'm stuck playing the same few games. However, Valve made the memory upgradable, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's just a few screws to release the backplate. Now we're in, and we need to remove the protective cover. And there's our SSD. This is a 2TB SSD. That's 30 times more storage than the one I just removed. Instead of a handful of games, this can take my entire Steam library, hundreds of games. Now we have the new memory card installed, except this new drive, it has no operating system. If I turn my Steam Deck on now, nothing would happen. So I need to get SteamOS back on this device. Fortunately, it's simpler than it sounds. By downloading the recovery image from the website and flash it to a USB stick. There we go, SteamOS is back on the device and now with 2TB of memory. However, there is another problem. Playing all these games has made me realise. The fan. It's so loud. So another improvement I want to make is the thermal performance of my Steam Deck. By replacing the thermal paste with a phase change material thermal pad, it should improve the thermal conductivity, drawing heat away from the CPU faster. The CPU can run more intensely for longer, improving the thermal performance, or require less cooling, meaning the fan runs quieter. To get to the CPU, I need to remove the heatsink. Now I need to clean off the old thermal paste. I can cut the thermal pad to size. And I'll place the new thermal pad onto the heatsink. This will be a noticeable improvement to the thermal and overall performance of my Steam Deck. Though, there is another issue I need to resolve. The thumbsticks. Every single time you move an analog thumbstick, it rubs on the pads to register the input. Hours and hours of that friction means wear, and over time, the sticks will drift. Eventually, they'll become completely unusable. So to avoid this, I'm going to use these, electromagnetic sensors. No friction, no contact, nothing to wear out. They're actually better, way more sensitive, and they can respond to the smallest movement with no dead zone like the old ones. And I'll show you just how quick and simple it is to install them. Remove one connector and 3 screws. And just pop out the thumbstick. Drop the new one in, put the screws back and replace the connector. And don't forget to do the other one as well. Look at just how precise these thumbsticks are. It's so satisfying knowing that I won't have to worry about these again. But one thing I do worry about, the feel of the Steam Deck buttons. They're just a little soft and mushy, and it just doesn't quite feel right. So I'm going to try an improvement to replace these with a clickier tactile button. And it was about this moment when I realised I had to remove the thumbsticks I'd just replaced to get to those buttons. They should be just under here. These are the old contacts I want to replace. And here are my new clicky buttons to stick back on. However, before I put everything back together, I'm going to learn from my previous mistake, because my next upgrade needs even more components to be removed. This upgrade will have by far the biggest transformation of my Steam Deck. However, it requires everything to be removed. And I mean everything. There we go, all taken apart. Now, just to put it all back together again. But this time, in a new case. I'm so happy about how these upgrades have turned out. It's completely transformed my Steam Deck. And the clicky buttons feel so good as well. With these changes to my Steam Deck, I've gone from hardly using it to just being unable to put it down. I'm so happy I'm able to breathe new life into this device and enjoy it as if it was new all over again.